talk about our different issues that are affecting government at the moment. But I think the big, massive issue is education. And before we wrap up with our guest in studio now, Arabile Gumede, who's from our SABC Economics desk, we need to look at this. Now, the recent IMF report on South Africa is saying that while the country's economy is globally positioned, sophisticated and diversified, the gaps in infrastructure and education are the stifling factor to productivity in infrastructure. And this is a big thing because elephant in the room is education. And we need to improve on all of this. I mean, what is your take on what the IMF was saying?
Two very quick points on that, and I'll touch on something that we wasn't necessarily the key focus of this discussion, but let's remember that the infrastructure drive was a massive, massive plan from President Jacob Zuma, former President Jacob Zuma, back in 2009, headed into that 2010 FIFA World Cup. We invested massively, perhaps not in the right space. So that just shows perhaps our investment plans were not in the right place.
And more stadiums.
Indeed, right? Which then puts me through into education, as you said. What we've done is we continue to spend per student more than any other country in the world. Yet we still have the highest unemployment of any country in the world. Where is that investment going? Are we getting our children job ready? Are we getting our students job ready? Are we getting them varsity ready? It's easy for us, or it's going to be the plan, of course, to make sure we have free tertiary education. I'm all good and well for that. But the problem is, are you creating good quality education at the lower levels? Development. Not even primary. I'm not talking about grade 1 yet. I'm talking about development, early childhood development.
Foundation phase.
Is that where you've started to prepare your child to say, you need to be ready for a fourth industrialist revolutionary world? And have you invested in that? Because their first interaction with technology, with numbers even, is at such a late stage that by the time they get to matric or the like, to do maths is very difficult. To engage in science and technology is very difficult. And if that's the way that the world is growing, then we're going to lag behind, and that certainly isn't going to help us. So are we actually investing in education in the right way is perhaps what we should be asking ourselves. But we're tired of plans. We can't just plan. We now need to implement.
Yeah, and that is where we're going to leave it, on a good keynote of implementation is now needed desperately. Arabile Gumede, what a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Leanne.
So nice to have you. Yeah, I hope so. SABC Econ Journalist trying to make sense of where we're at in terms of some different factors as South Africans. All right, let's take a break. We say shap shap to you after this. Stay tuned.